Never been live.
All right, everyone. It is Friday, and you know what time that is? It means it is time for Stop Being the Best Kept Secret. I am one of the co-hosts, Damon Pistolka. That pretty gentleman right over there is Kurt Anderson. He's the other co-host. We're going to be talking today about SEO success for manufacturers. We're going to talk about how Electronic Interconnect teams up with IMEC and B2Btail. Kurt, I can't even talk. I'm so excited. Take it away, my friend.
Damon, thanks. Happy Friday to you. This is an honor. What a privilege to take over, have this conversation here with our dear friend Pratish Patel from Electronic Interconnect right in Chicago. Pratish, happy Friday. How are you?
Happy Friday, man. Great to see you guys. Okay.
Great to see you. So yeah, this is your first, right? This is your maiden voyage on being on a live stream. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Live stream is the first time I've been done, and I've done recording many times. And I do, like I said, we do a lot of presentations and a lot of in-class type of it. But nothing like this. Podcast is something new for me. My daughter keeps telling me, keep going. And you know what? She's going to be excited. Oh, hey, Dad, finally you got onto it,
We strong-armed him, Damon. We got him on the show. So this is what an honor, what a privilege, what a dear friend that you've become, Pratish. We're going to dive in. And so we've got tons to cover here. But before we go there, I've got a question for you. We're going to kick things off with a little question. Now, if you don't mind, this might be a little curveball. I intentionally left it off the list. Are you ready? Are you sitting down? Here we go. Pratish, when you were a little guy growing up, who was your hero? Who did you look up to? Who did you admire? Who just showered you with unconditional love? Who was your hero when you were a little guy growing up?
Of course, number one always starts with my dad.
Nice.
Okay. My dad has always been inspiring me, always been with me. So it's really mom. And then comes mom in my case, but dad, because dad was almost supportive. So that's number one, okay? And then my mom's brother, uncle, okay? He really took care of me when I was at the age of 10 to 12 type of it, and brought me to U.S. and explored me. I went to school there with him. He supported me. He was very inspiring to me. He made my life change, the second one. That's in a childhood, okay? We're talking about childhood. And as we grew up, our mentors, supporters, inspires people, they come in our life. And every one of them now and then, we always have it. You know what? Who's the latest one?
Who?
Right here on the screen, Kurt. That's you. I told you yesterday, right?
Well, hey, you know what? It's mutual, dude. It is absolutely mutual. And so we're going to, and I'll tell you. So Damon, this is what I like to say with myself and Pratish. He's a wise man. I tell you, this guy is the one-liners, the stories, logic, just absolutely brilliant. He's the wise man. Guess what? I'm the wise guy. So I'm the wise guy. He's the wise man.
There you go.
That's how it goes. Hey, Damon, we got a couple comments here.
Yeah, we do. We got Diane Byer stopping by to say happy Friday. Thanks for being here today, Diane. We got Rich and Walker International Limited. Fantastic opportunity. Thanks for dropping the comments today. If you're listening, make sure to drop those comments. We will respond, answer questions, and have some fun.
Yeah. Any questions you have for Pratish? And so Pratish, all right, great. Love hearing your heroes growing up. And I know you, my friend, are a hero to many. So let's go here. I want to get into like early stages of your career. Heavy duty, you're a circuit board manufacturer. Talk about a little bit like what led your path into manufacturing.
Interesting. So, I always loved physics. Like I said yesterday, there are two kinds of it. One is called math and one is a physics. There's two buckets only in the life. So as we spoke about in the past, I say physics was my passion. Yeah. I had done my undergrad into that. And then finally, when I got into the master's, seeking for a job in earlier days, one of my advisors at that point told me, hey, bartender makes more money than physicist. Okay, so
and has more fun, right?
That was a great motivation. Okay, so I said, so what are the options? He says, you are almost there. Physics never going to go away in your life. So what you do, take a couple semesters of the mechanical engineering. That's your passion. Just go for it. And that at least will get you foot in the door. And so guess what? That's exactly what I did. I did mechanical engineering out of Cal Poly. Okay. San Luis Obispo. And it's a hands-on school. So we definitely, I did a grade out of there. And then worked for only one company called Borg Warner. Okay. It started as intern. In those days they call. And I had an intern at the Temecula. And from there, they had a division out of in San Jose. So after graduation, moved out there. But again, it's a shop, it's mechanical, right? And then this opportunity came with my brother-in-law and says, hey, I got a shop business up in Chicago. It's a circuit board. And I said, let me look at it. I'm an entrepreneur, right? Physics doesn't go away. It doesn't matter what you do. Whether you do machine shop, you do, it doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. Hey, they had a high precision lathe machines. We got a drill machines. Hey, pretty much same. I said, you know what? I love to be in a part of operation, not in administration, not in sales and marketing. That's not cup of my tea. I say, I'm this guy. That's what I'm going to do. So interesting story. So I ran that almost for 6 years. I had no idea what circuit board is. Okay. When I joined in 1996, nothing. But when you know the physics, when you have ability, concept we call learn, you can do anything. In my theories, here's what it is. 4 years, bachelor degree, 5 years, master's degree. Applies in your life too. Okay, so any professional, you stay, whatever you're doing, Kurt, you've been doing it, after 5 years, you get your doctorate degree.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
PhD in something. I'm not sure what. But
That's the same thing in a scenario. I ended up, because my attitude is keep learning, keep motivating, keep being a mentor, keep doing this. And I keep doing it. And then in 2004, my other partner who was doing the sales, he decided to separate out. He went on. And then my brother-in-law said, what are we going to do? I said, hey, I run the back end show anyway. Just we need a front end, right? He said, yeah. But he says, you don't have MBA. I said, shit.
Yeah.
So guess what? I went to Purdue. Again, I'm a engineer guy. I like to be with the MBA, with the not with the Kellogg finance guy. I want to do with somebody with the engineering back school.
Right.
So I did MBA. And then I still remember first thing is that I did my MBA with the Purdue, by the way, graduated from there, master's in MBA. And I remember my interview with Purdue. And that there was a final call. And I still remember the director of the program manager came in and says, why do you want to join MBA? I say, you know what? I just want my statement, I told you, Kurt, right in the past, I just want to know what the heck MBA people think when they join the board shop or job shop. What do they mean about manufacturing?
Right.
They control my manufacturing. What they want to control the physics with their MBA degree. Let me tell you, I want to find out what they teach you in MBA that want to focus on physics.
Right.
So guess what happened? So on a very first day in the class, she comes up and said, hey, by the way, just want to let you know that we got a troublemaker in this class. And he says, what is it? He says, hey, he's from Masters in Mechanical. He's a pure physics guy. And he wants to know what the heck MBA people thinks about physics.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's how the whole thing happened. We did a wonderful, wonderful class group we had. Cross-learn. I learned a lot, by the way. Okay, I learned a lot. I learned how to talk with the accountant, marketing, all those people. That's what you learn, okay? A lot of case studies. And finally, I learned that you cannot have Walmart and Macy's under one roof. And second part, I learned how to read Wall Street Journal. So if you tell me, what did I learn out of my MBA? This is two things I learned.
Right.
That's great.
Wall Street Journal. And what was the first one?
First, you cannot have Walmart and Macy's under one roof.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It's two different things.
Right.
Yeah.
It was worth every penny for your MBA, right?
Yep.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Okay. So now you're equipped with your MBA. Next step. What follows your MBA?
I'm sorry. What is that?
So what was the next step? What followed after your MBA?
Yeah, after the follow, I took over not took over. I mean, I continue journey with Electronic Interconnect because I'm a partner over here, and I said, okay, I can, and I had a lot of passion, right, in this industry, and I know this process, I know everything, and not only that, you develop a lot of relationship with your people. So during that time, I had almost 95 people working in my shop, three
Wow.
shifts. Yeah. And then, and of course, 2000 was a time when we had a lot of called trade-free stuff came in. You know, a lot of people started to move out of the U.S. in manufacturing. So that was a time, the toughest time. I was managing the shop. Why? Because I had a unique strength. Physics, number one. Number two, dealing with the people, motivate the people, mentor, coach. Okay. And sustaining we shrink down, become more efficient, more productive, and we started to become more unique and niche product into this one. And that's what we want to be. So we kind of nail down into the very narrow path, very specialized type of it, and work with the developer, engineers, kind of those people. We never ran after what's the sales. No. We don't go after the sales amount. We go after okay, what can I do for you? If you're an engineer, somebody comes up, simple as, what can I do for you? And we are here to solve your problem. Let me make your product. I'll look it up here. I'll give you free guidance, free consulting. It's going to work or not. And you take upon it, you make your decision, we'll take it from there. So we have the highest retention in my shop. I'm not in spotlight. People don't know me, but people who knows me, they will not leave me. Okay, that's how it goes. And no matter what you do, you can shake the tree out to them. You can offer them free, but they will not go. They'll ask me first thing, Pratish, what do you think? Should I said, it's your choice. That's how it goes. But relationship, trust, okay, and your knowledge goes with that one. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that part about, going back and getting your MBA and then coming back to the situation where, it's a tough time in the industry and your business, and then really getting streamlined and focusing down to see the value in the industry, because that's where a lot of businesses stop, right? They come and the industry changes and they go, oh, well, we're just not going to make it, I guess.
So you navigate your ship. Yeah, you're right. You navigate your ship.
Yeah, they go right into the rocks, right? And they don't change the ship. They don't change the direction and really get streamlined, because they're it's like I talk with people endlessly about this. There's always opportunities and difficulty if you just keep looking and find them. And it might not be, you're not going to, like you said, you're not going to be the same ship. You're not going the same direction. But when you find that new ship, new direction, like you have, it is a great and interesting thing, because you were probably working in an area where other people weren't all crowded in and trying to take over.
Absolutely. And we always say we are all unique. I always tell Kurt, we are never in competition. I don't have competitors.
Yes.
You don't have competitors.
Yes.
I compliment with everybody.
Yep.
Okay?
Absolutely. So I love that. So Pratish, let's go here. So we're talking about Electronic Interconnect. I'm going to pull up the website in a minute here. Please share with folks, who is your company? How do you guys make the world a better place? What's going on here?
Okay, Kurt, like I said, thanks for putting the website back where we want it to be. Okay. And it's simply informative, just in general. It's not much information out there, and it just gives you some guidance about the website, who we are, because you need that tool. People ask us, "Hey, let us check your site, who we are." So the website is mainly for who we are, typical, and certifications. That's the key. You need that certifications, shown on your website, and said, "Hey, look, I'm certified AS9100. I'm ITAR. I'm ISO. I also help in an environmental side of it, right? We were the first circuit board shop to get the pollution prevention award from the state of Illinois.
Nice.
No board shop ever got that. So we keep working on not only on the nature side of it, environmental side of it, but also keeping the quality, keeping the customer happy, saying, oh, if I come there, They got certification. That means they have process in a place. That's all it is. Okay. They have culture in a place. They have system in a place. So if somebody wants to take a shortcut and somebody says, "Oh, wing it," ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Next guy is gonna ask you within the same floor, why did you not sign? Why didn't do this? Can we get explanation? And you know what? Sometimes some people feel it's a bureaucrat. And I say, no, it's a culture. Culture you develop that has to be 0 or 1. Either works or doesn't work. 0 or 1. Simple.
I like that.
There's nothing in between. Either works or doesn't work. You can wing it.
You can't wing it.
So let's go here, and I don't know, Damon. Do we have a question here do we want to hit that question first?
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Rich and Walker International asks, what trends do you see shaping the future of electronic interconnect technology, and what are the biggest challenges you face in innovating electronic interconnect solutions?
Electronic interconnect means we call another way to put it is up here is called circuit board, bare circuit boards. Okay, so bare circuit boards. Let me see if I can grab a couple.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever can see it, Mark.
Yeah.
So complex. Okay.
Yep.
And this can get to the nice one out there. Very interesting boards are out there.
Yeah.
We can do something like this also. Some nice big lugs. Look at this.
Yeah.
So circuit board is everywhere. It's one of the foundation of the electronics I call circuit board is a part of the civilization now.
Yes.
If you don't have circuit boards, people say you're not in technology. That's how you perceive that, right? It has to have electronic, has to have a little light, has to do something. Then you call technology, even though it's a stupid remote control.
Yeah, even though.
Excuse me. Even it's remote control, people want fancy remote control. Okay, So I think what it is that circuit board is our bread and butter foundation of our civilization, where we're gonna be heading next. Is more and more complex, miniature, and more functions you want to get it done.
Yeah.
From one small thing. So that's where everybody talks about. It's called AI buzz. So let me get to that part. AI. Okay. Artificial intelligence. All it is nothing but the same old chip again, except bigger, does more diodes, more capacitors. That's all is compacted into one. That's all it is. And so what does it need? All these years we had a lot of data. So let's put electronics and data together. And let's start talk. So AI is the next rev. What does it need? It needs a high precision materials, precision machines, precision. Bottom line is that. Just to keep in very layman term over here. Okay? And it's not going to be that simple. It's one of the biggest challenge we have right now. So we do go out. I do advocate, like Kurt, I tell multiple times, I go out and work with the IPC in a lobbying at the Capitol, and we want to call out a chip act or a circuit board acts are out there, incentives, whatever you want to call that. We go out and lobby those, trying to bring that circuit board back to the USA. That's what we're trying to do right now. So to answer his question is that technology is going to get complex, and everything is going to lead to the miniature. And we need to be prepared for that. We have only 5 years. Okay? Yes, 5 years. If we don't shape up in manufacturing, all these AI products going to go faster out of US before you blink of your eye.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you want to expand on that one, Pratish?
Yeah.
Oh my God! All I can say at this point, when you go all over the world, when you go to China, Asia, or Europe, part of the Europe, they are far ahead of US right now. Okay, I have the friends and family. They constantly updating me how this Asian other market, other areas, how far they are in the technology, how far they are in AI. AI is nothing but it's just like when I go back and Kurt, remember when the original IBM typewriter came in, or first software came in,
Yeah.
word processor came in, and then you keep going up and up and up. AI is going to help us a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's going to help us a tremendous to go to the next level.
Right.
Yeah, there is no doubt about it. Do we want to join AI? Answer is absolutely.
Right.
You want to catch that train.
Right.
If you don't catch now, you're going to be left behind. And I don't know.
It's not going to be good.
No, not going to be good. So what's going to happen? You're going to have the people, two kind of people in the US. Either they accept the technology and work with that, or people are going to stay in the farms.
Right. Got the laggards, the Luddites. Remember that term?
Yes.
You've got like the digital Luddites, or and we did a webinar yesterday, Pratish, on AI. And we had some wonderful experts sharing what they're doing, and they're saying like you can't be an ostrich and hide your head in the sand. We can't pretend that like this isn't happening, right? So it's absolutely love what you're saying, Damon. We got a couple more comments here.
Yeah, we do. We got to go. Diane Byer dropped a comment, said, "Here's to the dads who inspire their children." I think she's referring to a Pratish when you were talking about your father. And we got Zargos Khan that says informative. And then we got Jennifer Eby that says, "Hi, Pratish."
Yeah, so, I know her well. She's great.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much, Jen. I miss you.
Thank you for dropping the comments here. So, Pratish, let's do this. Let's jump over to your website real quick. And
let's do that.
What I want to dive into. So, for folks that aren't familiar, this is not a good way. The other night, I had my one of my earbuds fell out, Damon, and then it got broke. And when it broke, had like this tiny little circuit board right inside your earbud.
Do.
I mean, like Patrice, like you're saying, like, I mean, they are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And ironically, I worked with a client years ago. I used to actually manufacture a circuit board. So when Patrice and I met, man, it was like, Patrice, that first night that you and I were introduced, it was like this, remember Jeannie from IMEC, she was like, man, this is like a big bromance going on right here. So
nice.
We're going to jump into the website here. So let's take a peek. And so Patrice, so for folks that are new to you, new to Electronics Interconnect, and new to circuit boards, let's just talk a little bit about what's going on here on the website.
I think website is pretty basic. We just kind of sharing that, hey, potential for the PCB fabrications is up here. And like I said, it's very simple site. It just gets, let's say, basic information about the circuit board, some knowledge behind it, and some terminologies. Let's say engineers and other can use it. Hey, should I go to the shop? Or what they can do, what they cannot do. Okay. So what it does is gives them a general guideline. Okay. If they're expecting, for example, like say, okay, making very miniature part of it or part of the huge AI project, something, they might say, you know what, they're not there ready yet. Maybe I can have a multiple R&D project with them. Let me work with them because they can help me out to build the product out there. Okay, so it depends upon where they want to look into it, but it gives us simply guideline and navigate them that I don't do everything on the roof of the circuit board. No, I do very specialized thing, but I'll help you take you there wherever you want to go. That's where you start from me. So as my simple thing is engage me with your project and I will take you wherever you want to go. I have all the resources. If I don't have it here in my garage, in my shop, I will get it done for you. If it's done, I'll help you to get it done. But the physics doesn't go away. I keep telling this word physics all the time. And Damon and Kurt, you know that there are only two parts. One is called math, which is called statistical side of it, finance side of it. It's nothing but a math, right? Another thing, rest of the life is your physics. Anything you do in your life is physics. Okay, so being an engineer, I keep focusing on engineering side, and I say motivate the designers, motivate a lot of people are out there, and they say, how do we make this project success in a timely fashion with the low, economical? I don't want to call low cost, economical. And I would say, okay, let's chat, get me engaged, I'll help you. That's what I do. And that's what the site simply just talks about that. Okay.
Yeah. And I love all these testimonials. And then let's dive into, let's talk about again, if you're not familiar with circuit boards, it is absolutely fascinating. Like when I was introduced, it's great. So let's just talk about some of the different processes that you do.
Yes. So first thing, we can start with some of the things we are looking at the materials. Okay, there are a few highlights are over here. It's called materials are over here. That's the most important thing where we can help you in a cost-wise, performance-wise, reliability point of it. What shall we use? What we cannot use? In what level it should be used. So those are the few things I can help in the very beginning of the project. Second one, I can help in more of the reliability of the project. How do you make the most reliable product? For example, if your part is going into a, let's say, aircraft or in a life, in a healthcare, like machines and those things, or life-saving devices, the failure is not accepted. You can't have failure, period. You can't say, oh, by the way, my circuit board failed, so it happened. That's not, you can't have that. So to get to the 100% reliable, highest reliable product, you could go through the series of the test and mechanical and everything before it passes to make sure that when that board, that part is landed into the Boeing or in a 257 passenger aircraft, make sure it performs. That's it. Bottom line. Okay. Yeah. And that's where we come in. We come in for that part of it to make sure that my product will not fail out there. Simple as that. Yeah.
Right. No margin of error.
No margin of error.
Some of the things it's like that. And it's low volume too on some of those, you know.
Only thing that's the next step. So we help you start. Again, I always say that we are the chef. We are not the cook.
There you go.
That's another tagline. So what we do is that when we get engaged with the projects, we review everything, we help the designers, we get them going, we develop the recipe for him. We said, okay, we did 5, 10, 20, 50. What are the pieces you want? We got it done. Okay, fine. He says, I want 50,000, 100,000 pieces. I said, here it is. Take this project. It's all tooled nicely. Go to the production wherever you want, or I can help you to get you there. That's it. But it will not be done in Chicago under my roof.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say Macy's and Walmart.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, it's two different things. And I say, okay, I can help you. I'll help you, and I'll be the liaison to get you in the production where you want to go. And guess what? I'll give you a very good example of this. What happened in football. Our Super Bowl stadium, football stadiums, lights. If you remember about 15 years, 20 years back, one time on Super Bowl time, the light failed. Everybody knows, right?
Yep.
Guess what? After that, every Super Bowl football stadium, they had only LED lights.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The first pioneer was Ephesus people. We developed the lights over here at EI.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Wow. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went on from there, and then I think Eaton bought them out, and they went on after that. But again, the point is that we have done a lot of projects for a lot of customers that are out there, pioneering it out there, and they've made it successful out there. Okay. So this is one of the one. We have few of the customers, a lot of them are out there. I've signed a lot of NDAs are out there, so I have to be careful about it.
Yep.
But again, in general, I can say that.
Yeah. Nice. Awesome. Well, that's fantastic. So, all right, let's dive into resources. Let's take a look at like material specification. What else? What are some other things that folks should be familiar with here?
Yeah. So materials is up there. As you can see that, I think that's the main part of the deal with the circuit boards. Okay. Rest is a processing part. Okay. Where we come in. And that's where we come in. We say, what kind of reliability do you really need? So we can add those additional process or give you the more than they're expecting, or I can give it to that. So rest becomes a process point of it. Materials is a key to start with. So in general, what we're talking about here in this side of it, I don't emphasize too much about our processes. The reason is that it takes a lot more time and is more complex. And I think it's out of the scope in this time right now. We can have another session for it when we have all the designers are out there. Then we can talk more about that. Like thermal management. We can do a lot of thermal managements out there. We can develop all your control impedance, control, all those things. We can do that, you know.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right. How about you mentioned like ITAR and some of like your
Yes.
certification, sustainability. How about some of these things here?
Yeah, sustainability, like I mentioned to you earlier about how we manage our environmental compliances with the UL or with the EPA and all those guys. We use almost 60 to 80 gallons per minute water at this moment. And the water we get in and water out, okay, back to the sewer, is cleaner than what I get.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, a lot of places now, it's really your best way to stay out of trouble with the water people is just make sure it's cleaner going back in than you're getting.
Right. There are no lead in my house. We don't do anything with the lead.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No cyanide. If you're doing the
Yep.
gold boards, like we had a whole this gold board over here, there is no cyanide in the process. So with my workers, my people at the plant or out there, we don't need to worry about the cyanide, any trace of the cyanide in our chemistry or in the process at all. So there's a lot of environmental safety, OSHA, all that stuff comes into play. And we said, okay, how do we make better for our employees? How do we make better for the users? And they have confidence. Hey, he said, if the kid goes out and lick these boards out, don't worry, it's safe.
There you go. That reminds me of, isn't there like a commercial of somebody, they have their soap that they're using in their house and they dump it in their mouth like that? It's like, oh god, like they can't taste good no matter what.
Right. So, and it's true when you look at this one, you got a gold plating over here, you got all kind of processes, all kind of epoxy, you name the chemical in the world is in here. But it's safe. Right? It's safe. I can wipe it, I can do what I want, I can lick it, and guess what? I'm good.
There you go.
You lick it and hopefully you don't. Yeah. All right. So Patrice, let's go here. So you have, I've been on site. I had a wonderful tour. You guys have state-of-the-art equipment. You have an incredible team. I want to talk about a couple of things here. How do you stay, one of the questions was, like how do you stay ahead of technological advancements? How do you, for a small family business, how do you guys stay ahead? Like, it's in your field, it is expensive to stay ahead of the curve. How do you guys judge that? Like, how do you judge your investments into machinery, equipment, people, training? Like, how do you judge that?
So, Kurt, it's very important. Number one, we are not greedy. Okay? So let's say somebody says, I need to have a certain percentage of return. I got to have my certain lifestyle. No. Hey, first thing I think about it, take care of my 50, 60 people. How am I going to pay them? Make sure I don't fall in the payroll behind. Make sure they are happy.
Yeah.
I make less. Hey, what do I need? I need a bed, one room, one. Okay, let me tell you, my needs are minimal. I drive simple Honda CRV. Okay?
Right.
Okay, not a luxury, not anything up there. Everything is simple. My office is simple. Everything simplify my life first. Starts from me.
Right.
Okay, and then you trickle down all the way in the plant. Everybody. Keep it simple. Right. Okay, bare minimum. If you need it, yes, we'll get it. No doubt about it. Safety is number one priority. We will not go out and keep spending money unnecessarily just to get a buzzword out there. No, we don't want to be spotlight. No, we are okay what we do. Let's spend time more on a mentoring, teaching, spend time in training. Let's do that. Let's help sometimes employees out there. Let's do small luncheons. Let's do group teamwork. Okay? Make them feel. Here's my tagline. Every time I go to production meeting, I tell them, do you have to come to the EI or you want to come to the EI? Want and have to.
There you go.
Do you want to or do you have to?
The day you say, I have to, please don't come to the EI. Just give me notice.
That's awesome. That just laying it out there, isn't it?
Simple, right?
Yeah, it is simple.
So I have a lot of operators, employees are 20, 30 years, and they come because they want to come.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Not they have to come.
Yeah.
So it comes back. Go ahead, Kurt. Sorry.
Go ahead, Dan, please.
Well, it comes back to you intentionally creating the workplace that you feel is a great place to work and they feel is a great place to work.
Yeah.
And treating everyone, fairly and just making sure that they know we're going to win and lose together.
and become a solution provider.
Yeah.
Don't just go out and say, hey, I want you to do this. Fine. Do you know how to do it? Do you know what it takes to do it?
Right.
Have that concept behind it, what person's going to go through it when he does the job.
Right.
So at least you have the concept behind it, what it takes to do this job. Then you can delegate properly and people will work behind you. They'll stand behind you. I'll tell you right now, we just had a very recent ransomware at our place. Okay. Everybody who has spent 6 figures to solve that problem. Let me tell you that. My team, today IT team, they worked endless hours, fixed everything, got it up and running within 1 week. Today, I'm 99% up, except few things here and there, but it's not hurting productivity, but it's helping us to get to the next level. It happens to everybody. You know what I shown? This time, my team proved it, who is with me. Whole team, whole company was with me and came up and said, Pratish sir, don't worry about it. We'll work around. People stayed extra hours, extra time. They work around. They work with each other. They didn't even took a lunch break or regular breaks between that. If the system is up in doing something, they'll get it done, and they'll figure out something else. I just have to salute my team so much what they've done in last 4 weeks. Just a recent case. Was a litmus test. Was a litmus test.
Wow,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Not a single person came up. Not a single person ever came up to me and say, "Can you fix my PC first? Otherwise, I'm leaving." That was the height of that.
Yeah.
And salute them.
All right, let's unpack a couple things right there. So, all right, so company every entrepreneur. Who was it? Was it Phil Knight says like every day in entrepreneurship is a crisis, right? So every day in entrepreneurship
kind of is.
I think that was Phil Knight. And so, and when you get ransomware, I told you, Patrice, like we just had a couple of cyber. Hey, there's a thumbs up. We just had a couple cybersecurity experts on the live show last week ago Monday, and they were talking about. I mean, it's catastrophic.
Yeah, it is.
Hit with that. So. You come in, you get hit with a crisis in your team. It's all hands on deck. Everybody's like locked in arms. How, like for entrepreneurs out there, just let's dive into culture. Like, how do you create that type of environment? And I've seen it firsthand. I was at your facility. Damon, I'm telling people are buzzing around. They're high-fiving. There's a ton of camaraderie. It's a lot of symmetry. People are moving. Patrice, give some insight for maybe like your younger self or maybe like other entrepreneurs, other manufacturers out there. How have you done such a great job? And I know you're very selfless, very humble. You're not going to, this is an uncomfortable question for you, but what are some of the factors of creating that type of culture at your place?
First of all, you start with the keep yourself low profile. Okay. All with the bottom. Become a humble. That's number one. Listen to everybody. They have a reason to something to say. Let them express, let them finish off everything. So you have to be a good listener. Number one, passion. You got to have a passion. What are we doing out there? Okay. If it's your baby, you have to have passion behind it. It's my circuit board. I know what I'm going to do it. And then most important thing, become a mentor and coach. From the day one, even my new employee comes in, I said, I know this is a training phase you have, but at least become a mentor and coach. Okay. Mentor somebody. If you find somebody you can help them out. Okay. Guide them. And coach is nothing but inspirations you see out there, right? Somebody comes up and you see something out there and said, okay, what is a coach? I mean, I take a good example of the basketball team, football team, sports. Okay. They are called as a coach. Why? Players knows how to play. They know how to throw. They know everything. What does a coach does? Inspires them, puts energy into them and said, okay, you know what? I'm going to do better than today. Again, comes to the point, have to or want to. Coach job is to put every employee to come out there and say, I want to go tomorrow because I'm going to learn something tomorrow and I'm going to be inspired by that. And I keep coming back even with the Kurt. What you see, nothing has been drafted, crafted. It's all natural, comes out from me. You know why? The Kurt is sitting in front of me. He's indirectly inspiring me that way he says that, how he says that, his chemistry, my chemistry, something is happening. So, does that answer the question? Kind of.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
So, being humble, listening,
Yeah.
having a passion, being a mentor and a coach. Let's go there for a second. When did you like transition from like when we become the mentee to the mentor? Like, again, as an entrepreneur, like any tips there for folks?
It's hard one. Okay. I think you have to look at every single day, every moment, and see who you're surrounded by. Number one.
Mhm.
First of all, you must be surrounded by the positive people.
Mhm.
The negative people, you can look it up. Are they devil's advocate? They still have positive spin on for you. Are they devil's advocacy?
Mhm.
And you do want the devil's advocacy in your team.
Mhm.
Okay? You do want them. And you acknowledge them and you tell them, I want you to play devil's advocacy.
Mhm.
Let them play.
Right.
Okay? But the goal is a common principle, one goal we have. We're doing for the company, doing for to solve this problem, whatever it is. There's not any other personal agenda should be out there. It's just devil's advocacy. That's it. Which you may not have thought about this thing. Have you thought about this? Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, let me see. Oh, you don't count that person as he's arguing with, he's against you. No, he's doing devil's advocacy.
Mhm.
And you want that in your part of your team.
Yes.
Right.
And when people don't do that, when we are in the meeting doing, let's say, solving the problem, we're discussing, and people are quiet, I tell them, can you two guys become devil's advocacy right now? Can you figure out a way to how it's going to fail?
Right.
Simple.
Yeah, you're making a phenomenal point, Pratish, because there's a big difference between like somebody can be positive
Yeah.
versus crossing the line of complaining, but playing, you can be positive and play that devil's advocate.
Yes.
Like, let's challenge each other. Are we being our best selves?
Yes.
Are we sharpening our pencil for those of us still using pencils, right?
Yeah.
How do we stand against, I know you mentioned like, hey, I have no competitors, but how do we look in the market and how do we look compared to others? And just like really looking in the, our dear friend Diane always says, like, looking in the mirror and just kind of seeing like, hey, what's in your teeth, right?
Yeah.
So I love that what you're saying about playing devil's advocate, but however, surrounding people that are fighting for the cause and that are supportive and positive and around you. Damon, do we have another question? Is this one?
Yes. Investment funding.
Yeah. It's a challenge. It's a challenge if you got a technology and you're trying to develop. What are some of the ways you're looking at, because it is a challenge.
So what we do is that, of course, you got to work with the finance is a key factor in this industry. And either you constantly stay in touch with state, local government and see, are there any programs can help you out? Okay. Most of them out there, lenders, they need some collateral, this and that. So again, is you got to maneuver this ship. Okay. Investment point of it, if you keep your low expectations for you, I think there's enough money you can make it just to plow back into it.
Yep.
Keep doing that. So you don't want to get dependent on somebody and third party will come in and say, hey, we can lend you this money. But I say, okay, I got to pay back. Keep it simple. Right? I say, yeah, okay, there you go. Right. How long going to take me to pay back? If I see an opportunity going to take me to the next level, right away, I will borrow the money. But at this point, the process is always so slow in this industry that you want to do that, but you want to do very cautiously and do the right thing and move on. So we have done it. We have done very successfully last 20 years, and we continue to keep it that way till I see a point where, hey, I'm out of it. But so far, knock on wood, we're doing great.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, great answer, Pratish. Now I know. All right, we'll start winding down because I know, like,
we gotta roll.
Like Damon, it's like the fastest.
Yes, it is.
It's already like okay. So, Pratish, let's go here. If you could, you mentioned 1996. We're flirting with 30 years that you've been involved with DI. Is that correct? Yes. So, what would you attribute as one of your you've laid out, how you've built the culture, your people, the passion, everything. What would you attribute has been your longevity and your wonderful success at Electronic Interconnect? What would you say there?
Man, that's a long question.
How about, and I'll take a long answer. So, like, hey, inquiring minds want to know how, like, success breeds success. what's been, and here's one for you, Patrice. I don't know if you've heard this one. Was it 4 out of 5 businesses fail every 5 years?
Okay.
4 out of 5 businesses fail in their first 5 years,
Right.
and then it just perpetuates from there. So like if we're talking 30 years, like you've survived, 6 5-year cycles.
Mm-hmm.
You're an anomaly. I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, Damon, I think it's like what, 3%?
Yeah, it's 2 or 3% as you get into those time frames.
Yeah, like 2, 3, 4% of businesses survive that long. What's anything that you would attribute to that's been that contributes to your long-term success?
Sure. A couple of basic principles in the life. So let's go very quickly on it. There are 3,000 boat shops in 1919 in the time of it, before 2000. Okay.
3,000.
Yeah. Almost 2,500, 3,000 shops in the US. Today, we are less than about 100. I'm going to call about 110 at the most.
Is that right? 100?
110. Wow.
Yeah. So it took a nosedive, and now IPC is trying to help that. Can we bring this, some manufacturing back and some can run? Now, there are 2 major stagnant, like TTM, some couple of 2 public companies like Calumet and big guys. And then you got suddenly nothing in the middle, and boom, low. Small people like us. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how they're going to sustain and survive? Very simple. Like I said earlier, keep focus on it. Have a passion into what you do. Don't extend your land too far into it if you cannot, and stay focused. Number 1, that's most important part of this thing. And there are 5 basic principles in this life. 1, become a leader. Keep innovating. Keep looking at it out there, what you do. Okay. Then be knowledgeable. Whatever you do, stay focused like a laser. Okay. You're going to do only one thing. Just stay on that path. Do not change. Okay. 3rd, take care of your health. Okay. Health is very important. If you don't take care of your health, nothing going to work. So people need you. So make sure you spend enough time for yourself in either meditation, exercise. Make sure I do that. Okay.
Yep.
4th point, start looking at it. People tells you forecasting, a little bit of that. Take the data, start forecasting. Look at the trend. Review the data. See what is happening out there. Don't say out loud. Just review the data. So you have everything in front of you. Okay. And last one. Okay. Become like a kid. If somebody tells you something, ignore it. Stay focused. Be a kid.
Be a kid.
Okay? Be a kid.
Be a kid. I love that. Stay curious. All right. Drop the mic. So we've got.
Yes.
Okay. This phenomenal. This is absolutely fantastic. Damon, what's your takeaway on these?
No, it's great. Pratish, it's just like simple, and that is how that focus, the simplicity is how you stay an innovative leader and a leader in an industry, is because you're, as you said, not worrying about the competition. I'm worrying about how we're getting better, and we're getting better by working together with the leadership, with the focus, and really understanding where we're going, and bringing, as Kurt said just now, and you said, being a kid with curiosity and really being open to where we have to go to get there.
Right.
Yeah. Somebody wrote a 3-page of my profile. I never talk about that. That's how low profile I keep it. I wrote down all kind of things. You did this, you did that. I said, okay, that's fine. That's part of the job. 3-page.
And you've also done a phenomenal job, like you mentioned. So for folks that aren't familiar with IPC, that's your industry. That's kind of the standard. They create the standards for the electronics industry. For folks, you stay, you educated yourself. You're fiercely educating others. You're educating folks in your industry, working with IPC. You travel, you go to conferences. So you're staying abreast of like everything that's going on. And again, I really admire how you're staying on top of things with AI. That's, right. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts there.
Yeah. A lot of moving parts.
Okay.
Just stay alert, stay focused, and that's all you got to do. Remember those 5 basic principles. That's why you have only 5 fingers.
That's that's right. Right. David,
that's how you keep them straight.
Yeah. That's what you got to remember. Take this 5, leadership. Okay. Yep. That's how we start. This tells your sharpness, focus. Yep.
Right.
Number 3. Hey, by the way, people talk about middle finger. Sorry to say that, but it's pertaining to your health.
Yep.
So, all right. And then number 4, I've got forecasting. That's like kind of stay pursue the opportunities. And I'll tell you, for being in an industry that went from 3,000 manufacturers down to 100.
Yes,
that's even a greater testament to your success.
Yeah.
That is an accomplishment in and of itself.
Yes.
I mean, that is wild. And all that business went overseas. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because it's not like you were making horseshoes and like everybody like, hey, we're not making horseshoes anymore. Like you're making like you said, everything. Look around you, everything has a circuit board.
Yes.
So it's not like the industry didn't go down. It went other places. And so that's another testament to you and your family. And again, I've been on site, saw the operation right here in the US, right in Chicago, and 50, 60 employees strong. And you guys are just rocking it. It is just so impressive. And I tell you, they're just so proud. Like Damon, like they're, it was like being in a bakery, right?
Yeah.
Like hey, there's my thumbs up again. It's just taking circuit boards right out of the oven. It was just absolutely right. That's it's like a bakery that you run there, right?
Right. Like I said, we are chef, we are not cook.
You're a chef, not a cook. So, all right, we're coming into the bottom of the hour.
Yep.
We will wind down, Pratish.
Yeah.
And the best way for folks to find you, we have the website. We've got that in the show notes. We've got your LinkedIn profile. Where else can people find you?
Those are the basic. I've got a lot of trade shows I attend. So you'll see my tables like PCB Carolinas, PCB East, PCB West. We go to a lot of SMTA shows I do. Yep. You can always find me in those areas.
Awesome.
Excellent. All right, Pratish, as we close out, how about words of wisdom? I tell you, you know what, Pratish, you know what? We're going to write a book, dude. It's going to be like wisdom bombs from Pratish, because I tell you, when I talk to Pratish, I'm just like, man, it's just mind blowing. How about leave us with like one of your wisdom bombs, if you would, please? Like what the words of wisdom to leave everybody with today?
Okay. I think I can leave based upon the conversation we had today, and all the folks have joined with us. I want to thank everybody who's joining with us. And basically I'm saying is that just have a passion, okay? Be just a role model, make an impact on somebody's life, okay? Whether you are at work or at your community or at your family. This is an extension of the family. If you are 4 people up there in your family, husband, wife, 2 kids, whatever, small family, it's nothing but 50 people, nothing but extended. It's just a big family. Same principle applies there, what you apply at your home, no matter difference. So what you do at home, what you want to wish your culture, same thing applies in the work. It's the same family. That's all I can say. So take away from that, don't differentiate 2 things. If the work is separate than home, don't do that. It's the same thing. Principle applies exactly same both places.
There we go.
Drop the mic right there, Dave.
Yeah. People want to separate work and home and stuff like that. I said, don't do that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Just brilliance. I'll tell you. So, Pratish, let's go here. I know we're pushing an hour. So first off, I want to give a huge shout out, huge thank you to you, and for everybody that's been hanging out with us. How about a big round of applause for Pratish for just absolutely smashing it out of the park today. And Pratish, I want to thank you. We salute you. We applaud you. And hey, one last question. He's a big sports fan, Damon. How's your baseball team going to do this year?
Who's mine?
Yeah, how's your baseball team going to do this year?
My baseball team, I've been in the Cubs for years, and
playoff, baby. We're making a playoff game, and you heard it here from Pratish. Cubs are going to the playoffs for 2025. All right,
we're ready for it. Ready for it.
Big round of applause.
Thank you.
Cubs and Bears are going to go.
So, hey, hang out with us for 1 second. But I tell you, brilliant session here. This was a masterclass. Not just, it's really, when you talk to Pratish, like business, like the MBA thing, business is like secondary. It's like, this is how you run life. And so Pratish, you're just such a blessing. You're just such a breath of fresh air. And I'll tell you, for everybody out there, go out and just be someone's inspiration, just like Pratish is saying, and you too will make the world a better place. Damon, why don't you close it out for us?
All right. Thanks so much, Pratish, for being here today. It's just awesome getting to talk to you, learn more about Electronic Interconnect and the company and how you're helping make the U.S. manufacturing scene better. And I just can't believe it went from 3,000 to 100 and some companies, and you're one of them. That's an awesome accomplishment. And what you're doing to lead the industry is incredible. I want to thank, excuse me, everyone for showing up. Diane for dropping the comments. Rich and Walker International Limited, Marine, MD, Jennifer, Zergul, everyone else that was dropping comments. Thanks so much today for doing that. We appreciate it. We will get your questions answered if you do that. If you came in late, go back to the beginning. Pratish shared so much interesting information in here. Oh, we got Spencer Morona stopping in. Very interesting. Thank you, Damon, Kurt, and Pratish. Spencer, haven't seen you for a long time. We need to get together, my friend. And we will be back again next week. As Kurt always likes to say, just go out and make the world a special place. Let's do it. We're going to end up. Pratish, we'll finish up offline. Everybody else, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much.